The bank owns the paper. You own the home. If the toilet breaks, if the faucet breaks, if the window breaks, you don't call the bank. You are responsible to fix it. Just makes it a really clean strategy. When I sell it with seller financing, I'm going to require a down payment. The person owns it. They'll pay me a higher price for it when they own it. They'll pay me more cash flow when they own it. And the beautiful thing is, when they own it, there is a greater chance that they're going to take care of it. Now, do I know things are going to go wrong when I do these mobile homes? Absolutely. I know things go wrong in life all of the time. And if I know that things are going to go wrong in life, just prepare for them. Guys, every one of you in your real estate investment businesses, I'm going into a little bit of asset protection here, you should have reserve accounts set up. Every time you collect a monthly payment, every time you make some money, you should take that money and you should put it into reserve. Put it in reserve for maintenance. Put it into reserve for vacancy. Put it into reserve in case you got to kick somebody out. Put it into reserve in case somebody tears something up. So when something goes wrong, it's not a catastrophe. It's not an emergency. You prepared for it. Who cares?
Greg,
take the money out of reserve.
Want to put the whole amount in reserve or a portion in reserve?
No, just a portion. Just a portion. A good rule of thumb on when we're collecting monthly payments, a good rule of thumb is every time you collect a monthly payment, put 5% in a reserve account. Now, I don't want to dive off the deep end on reserve accounts here. I recommend that if you collect a down payment, put half the down payment in reserve. If you're doing a flip and you make 30 grand on that flip, put 10% of that money in reserve. Put as much money into reserve as you possibly can, guys. Run lean for the next 2 years so that you can have the life of your dreams. The good news is money that you have in reserve accounts is not taxable. It's not taxable income because it's reserved for expense. Now, there does become a point in time where you may have too much money in reserve. Well, that's a good problem to have because then you get to make some choices about what you want to do with that extra money. Reinvest it, buy some equipment for your business, which would be tax deductible, or if you just take the extra money that's in reserve straight to the HIP National Bank, then that becomes taxable income. And if you're paying tax, that means you're making money. I mean, some people get so caught up on this tax issue. Yes, with our asset protection program, the asset protection kit, you can reduce your taxes as much as possible, and don't get weirded out on me because you had to pay some tax. That means you made money. Paying tax is a good thing. We just don't want to pay more than we have to pay. All right, let's focus on the be the bank exit strategy. Exit strategies are not to get out of the deal, and exit strategies are the way I want to execute the deal and make money on that deal. So again, how did I get these people to do seller financing with me? I enticed them by showing them what the 10-year payout would be and what the interest would be. When I present this plan A, plan B option, and they see these numbers over their asking prices, guys, almost every single time they call me and ask me to explain. I explain to them, I'm straightforward with them, I talk to them about the value of money over time, and sometimes it works. Guess what? Sometimes it doesn't work. And guys, you'll hear me say this 1,000 times. I don't need this stuff to work every single time. On mobile homes, I just need it to work 3 times a month. And on other types of deals, whether it be a single family home, a duplex, a multi-unit building, an apartment building, a lease option, assignment of contract, I want those types of deals to work once. So you ought to be doing 4 deals a month, 3 mobile homes and 1 kind of any other deal you want to do. Again, you've got to have the proper contracts. If you do not have the RESS software, highly recommended that you seek the advice of a real estate attorney to make sure that the contracts you make sure that the contracts you use protect you in the state that you're doing that deal in. Even those of you that have the RESS software, if you're doing a mobile home for purchase and sell, or a mobile home for sell and purchase, which we're going to do in a moment, if you're doing it for the first time, you want that contract reviewed by the attorney in that state to make sure you're protected in that state. That's the consultation fee of $100 or $200 versus maybe $500 or $1,000 for a simple mobile home contract. Let's be the bank, my favorite strategy. People ask me today, what's my favorite strategy, what I like to do? I like to be the bank. And I like to be the bank on mobile homes. I like to be the bank on single family homes. I like to be the bank on larger deals. So we offer $21,000 with $1,000 down on this mobile home. Now, The cool part here is the down payment comes from the new tenant. So as I'm building my database of buyers, one of those questions that we ask in that questionnaire is, how much of a down payment can you afford? If somebody tells me they can afford a $2,000 down payment and I'm only looking for $1,000, what do? We tell them $2,000 will work perfect. That does not mean you're going to increase your profit on this deal by an extra $1,000, because that would be greedy. We don't need to be greedy. In a minute, guys, you're going to see how much money we truly get to make on this transaction. And what could you do with that extra $1,000? What do you guys think? I know what a lot of you are thinking. Put it in reserve. Excellent. You guys are getting it. When you get a little extra money on the deal that you didn't think you were getting, extra down payment gives you some extra protection. Guys, put that in reserve. Do this safely. Take care of yourself. Now, $21,000 offer, $1,000 down, remaining balance of $20,000 to be paid. 120 equal payments of $298.62. That's a 10-year note at 13% interest. Some people might say, why 13%? Okay, why not 14%? Why not 12%? The answer is you get to choose that number. And if I'm going to cash flow on the deal, who cares what the interest rate that I'm paying is? I want to know what my return on investment is. I want to know how much money I'm going to make. I don't care what I had to pay to get this deal done. If it's going to make me a profit, I'm doing the deal. Just do it. Now, well, I got that slide up there too many times. So we sell with seller financing. Now, let me back up. Our payment to the person I bought it from, let's say mom owns this mobile home. She owns it in a mobile home park. I've offered to buy it from her for $21,000 at 13% interest on a 10-year note. My payment to mom every single month is going to be $298.62. Guys, I calculated that out of software. I showed that to you a moment ago. Now, it is my goal, when I get these mobile homes and I sell them with seller financing, I want to make a minimum of $300 a month in cash flow on each mobile home. So if my payment to mom is $298.62 and I want to make $300 a month in cash flow, when I sell this to the tenant buyer in my database, their payment to me is going to be $598.62. So I'm now selling this mobile home to a buyer from my database. Their payment to me is $598.62. I have to pay mom the $298.62. I'm collecting $598.62. How much money goes into my pocket? Guys, that is a cash flow of $300 a month on just one mobile home. And again, if I sell it with seller financing, I don't have to worry about the lot rent here. I don't have to worry about maintenance. I don't have to worry about upkeep. I don't have to worry about insurance. I require that the homeowner carries insurance. I'm listed as the lost payee. In other words, if they cancel the insurance, here's something that could go wrong. If they cancel the insurance or don't pay the insurance, then I'm notified that these people haven't paid insurance, and then I buy force place insurance and put it on their form. Same thing if you quit paying the insurance on your home that the bank would do to you. Just remember, guys, you're the bank. So how much do we make here? $300 per month in cash flow for 120 months. That's $36,000. Guys, if you do 10 of those, I think that's $360,000. And you guys can do the math there. You do one, you can do another one. You want to do another one, you want to do another one. The beauty of how I've taught this to you guys is we did this with absolutely no money out of our pocket, and we didn't use any of our credit. Now, I was teaching class one weekend, I believe I was in Baltimore, Maryland, and I had a student say to me, well, Gregory, you can't do that. That's against the law. And I said, I can't do what? You can't sell mobile homes with 0% interest. It's against the law. And I said, well, somebody better go put General Motors in jail. Guys, car dealers have been selling vehicles at 0% interest for years. I bought several of them. And a mobile home in a mobile home park that's not tied to land in most cases is regulated by the Department of Motor Vehicles. And even if it's not regulated by the Department of Motor Vehicles, you can sell it with 0% interest. You must have full disclosure. If I go to the Chevy store and I buy a $65,000 truck, including taxes and insurance and tags and all that stuff, and it's 65 grand out the door, and I'm going to buy it with 0% interest for 5 years, what they do is they take the $65,000, they divide it by 60 months, and they disclose my payment. The purchase price has been disclosed, the payment's been disclosed, the number of payments have been disclosed. Well, initially when I'm going over the contract with this person, their payment's $598.62 per month for 10 years. I haven't disclosed the selling price. Guys, we must disclose the selling price. So if I take $598.62 times 120 payments, that is a total of payments of $71,834, plus they put $1,000 down, which puts us at $72,834. So the total payout for this mobile home over a 10-year period of time for these people is going to be $72,834. Now, I get it. I know exactly what you're thinking. I got a couple of people every week when I teach this strategy, they say to me, well, I'd never do that. Well, neither would I. I'm not going to pay $72,000 over a 10-year period of time on a mobile home that had an asking price of 30 grand. I'm not going to do that. I've got a beautiful home on Crystal River Bay. Well, it used to be beautiful. It's being rebuilt now. It'll be beautiful again. I've got a beautiful home right on Crystal River Bay. I don't need to do this strategy. Guys, what you must remember, get out of your own heads, get out of what you would or you wouldn't do, because what you do or wouldn't do isn't the same thing that somebody else would or wouldn't do. The people that answer these ads on these mobile homes, let me go over the ad with you again. And you can see this on the previous webinar if you don't have it. Mobile home buyers wanted. Not even implying that I have a mobile home. Financing available, 0% interest. Low down payment, good credit and poor credit, okay. A lot of times, guys, the people that call on these mobile homes are living in apartment buildings. They're in pre-foreclosure. They're losing their home. They got nowhere to go. You are their savior. You're their problem solver. Example. Let's say the lot rent on this mobile home is $400 a month. $30,000 mobile home, guys. That's a nice mobile home. You can get nice mobile homes for 30 grand. Lot rent in this park's $400 a month. So that means their payment, excuse me guys, their payment to own this mobile home is going to be $598.62 plus $400. Now, let's go to Tampa, Florida. Let's go to Chicago, Illinois. Let's go to a major city throughout the United States of America. And you tell me what a dumpy apartment's going to cost somebody to live in. $800, $900, $1,000, $1,200 a month. I've presented this offer to people before. They do not care about the price. Because I want to back up, because maybe I didn't go through disclosure of the contract. When I sell this mobile home, it's got to say selling price $72,834 with $1,000 down, leaves the remaining balance of $71,834 to be paid in 120 equal payments of $598.62 upon the final payment. It's paid for free and clear. They own it. That's full disclosure. Guys, these people don't care about the price of this mobile home. In almost every case, they care about one thing and one thing only, and that is the monthly payment. I've had people say to me, you know, okay, so my payment's $598.62. I get to live in this nice mobile home, in this nice mobile home park. I prefer the retirement community parks. And I've got to make a payment of almost $1,000, and I'm living in a dumpy apartment in Tampa, Florida, paying $1,100 a month. They're like, sign me up for that program. And what a great opportunity to find out if they got friends in the same situation that they're in that might want to do the exact same strategy. This business is about database, 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 database. You know, one of the things that you could do is you could make up a flyer with a picture of a mobile home, and you put the ad on there, mobile home buyers wanted, and put 0% interest all over the ad. And I think we talked about this last week. You know, go to Big Lots, go to the dollar store, go to Walmart, put it on the bulletin board. If you go to the apartment building complex, and it says no soliciting, you can't do this. And if it doesn't say no soliciting, you might get away with putting them on the cars in the apartment building complex. Now just know that the apartment building complex owner is not going to be real happy with you. What an incredible opportunity, guys, for you to make a considerable amount of money, not using your money, not using your credit with the mobile home strategy. So I kind of want to just run through the rest of the program. I see that we do have some questions there on the chat, my mom. I'm going to let you ask those questions in just a second. And if you're interested in talking to me one-on-one about our Potential to Results consulting program, where we do have a 90% success rate of walking you through your next deal in the next 120 days. Our goal is to walk you through several deals. Our guarantee is to walk you through one. That's unheard of in this industry, guys. And I was talking to somebody today. I said, you know, if we walked you through one deal that made you 10 grand, is that worth 10 grand or 100 grand? Well, the answer to that's 100 grand. So if you walk you through one, you can do it again, and you can do it again, and you can do it again. When the webinar is over, as every night, you will receive an email asking if you want that consultation. If you do want the consultation, fill out the questionnaire. It'll get sent to me directly. I'll reach out to you. I do the very, very best that I can to take the time that you chose. If not, I send you an email. We pick a different time. If you are interested in the 100K at 0% interest, up to 100K at 0% interest, you must fill out the consultation form first that comes to you email tonight, and then you will immediately get the directions of how to apply for the 100K. And again, we've had such great success getting students the 100K. The students that didn't qualify for the 100K, we were able to lead them in different directions for funding sources. And those that couldn't get funding sources were the most important ones to send us the information, because we can begin to work with you on credit repair. So just watch your inboxes for that. It'll be coming in the next couple of minutes. And Mom, if you got a couple of questions, we still got 42 people on the line.
Right.
I've already ate dinner. I'm good. Fire away.
All right. So the first thing I want to say is, don't everybody kill me, because we were halfway through tonight's session before I remembered to hit the recording button. So when he was recapping what we did last week, some of that might not be on this week's recording. I am so sorry. The second thing I want to say is, those of you...
Good thing we love you, Mom.
Yes. So you guys kill me for that. Now I'm going to kill you all for this. If you're in the room and you did not sign in with your first and your last name, it causes me a whole bunch of problems. So next week, be sure to put in your first name and your last name when you come into the room. And the reason is, we don't spam. So if somebody doesn't, if I send invitations to everybody and nobody attends for 2 or 3 weeks, I have to quit sending them invitations till I get notice that they want to attend. So I mark who attends to keep me out of trouble with the spam police. All right, now that, and if you're in the room tonight and you didn't sign in your last name, if you would just type your name, first and last name, in the chat box, I'd appreciate it, because we've got several duplicates in here, names, I'll never figure it out. All right, so the first question, Greg, is somebody asked, will we get in trouble because of the Dodd-Frank laws? And the answer to that, whoever asked that, is no, we won't, because you're not really a bank, you're not chartered as a bank, you're not chartered as a financial institution. Any property that we have, we can sell it ourselves. If we want,
right, Mom, so
and we can,
yeah. Let me give a little more clarity there, because there's been some precedents set. So and not on mobile homes, but we don't want to get into a situation where we could be called out on the Dodd-Frank law. So let me just talk about single-family homes for a second. If you sell more than 4 single-family homes in any given state with seller financing during a calendar year, so from January 1 till December the 31st in the state of Florida, if I sell 5 single-family homes, I can do 4, but once I do the 5th one, I need to have a realtor's license and a mortgage origination license according to the Dodd-Frank law. Okay, I just got clarity from this from one of our mentors, and it's such a great question. Now, if that's the case, guys, simple. Do 4 in one corporation, do 4 in another corporation, do 4 in another corporation. I'm separate from the corporation. It's not me doing it, it's my corporation doing it. Therefore, if you're concerned about it with the mobile home strategy, and when you consider asset protection, it makes sense to have multiple corporations, do 4 in one, 4 in another, 4 in another. And guys, I got to tell you something. If you're doing 4 single-family homes with seller financing a year, you're going to hit that $1 million mark really quick. And if you're doing 3 of these a month, you'll hit that $1 million mark really, really quick. Such a great question.
Another good question, Greg, kind of pertains. Will they call us a dealer? And I think they're talking about the mobile home listed as vehicles.
Yeah. So I will say that you do need to check the laws with your state of what would constitute a mobile home dealer. And guys, you want to become a used mobile home dealer, go to the county records office, apply for the license. It's $50. Take a test. I don't know what it is in your state. Great questions, and you know, these are all things that we need to know and we need to understand, and that's why it's great for you guys to be on the webinars. These are very intelligent questions. So,
and there again, you can do some in your personal, do some in your corporation, a different corporation, or whatever.
Yeah, just find out, you know, what constitutes being a dealer, and then just do some in one corp, some in another corp, some in another corp.
Okay, so, the next question is, when you said take half of the down payment in reserve, I think they were a little bit confused about, they were like, well, don't we have to give the down payment to the person we're buying the mobile from? So explain that a little bit, Greg.
So that's another great question. So if I'm buying the mobile home from mom and I have to give her $1,000 down payment, and my motivated buyer is going to give me $1,000 down payment, then yes, you're 100% correct, guys. That $1,000, if I'm doing this, not using my money or my credit, that $1,000 would have to go to the original seller. If the person's going to give me a $2,000 down payment and I've only got to give mom, the original seller, $1,000, then I do have an extra $1,000 to put in reserve. And I'm sorry for not being completely clear on that. Wonderful question. Anytime you have an opportunity to sock some money into reserve, put it into reserve.
And reserves apply a lot of times. I buy a house for $30,000, I put $5,000 and paint it and fix it up, and I sell it for $50,000. So a lot of times when we're talking about reserve, we're talking about putting some, when you're getting good chunks of cash, sock some of that away for unforeseen circumstances. Okay, Greg, where should they place the ads? Mobile home for sale, or house for sale, or for rent, or for whatever?
Excellent question, and this question's come up by a lot of my consulting students, and I don't know if I can find the slide because there's more than one place that we can do this at. So if you do not have the REI system, there we go, that's what I'm looking for. If you have the REI system, okay, you can auto blast your ad to most of these advertising resources. And guys, since the slide was produced, there's a couple of extra steps that you've got to go through to auto post at Craigslist or some of these other resources. Even though I got to go through a couple of extra steps, be able to blast an ad to everywhere. You know, if you're in a retirement state and you're advertising mobile homes everywhere, people from New York City are going to call you. Now, if you don't have the REI system, then you're going to want to advertise these mobile homes on Craigslist. You're going to want to advertise the mobile homes anywhere on the internet that you could do it for free. You want to advertise it in the, you know, the Penny Saver, the Shopper magazine. You want to put them on the bulletin boards and the laundromat. You want to put them on the bulletin boards and Super Walmart. You could find people that are in pre-foreclosure and send them the ad itself. You know, if you found, I mean, somebody might be looking for a miracle. If you found, you knew that somebody was in pre-foreclosure and you knew their address, you could probably put some signs like within a couple block area of their home letting you know that we're looking for mobile home buyers at 0% interest. So many things that you can do to get creative when it comes to marketing and advertising. Now, the one thing I do want to let you know that on a mobile home through the REI system, I've worked with a couple of my consulting students, you cannot auto blast an ad unless you have an address. So we can help you with that. We got multiple mobile homes here in Florida with addresses. If you know a friend that has a mobile home, you can use a picture and their address And remember, guys, I didn't say I had a mobile home for sale. The first line of this ad says mobile home buyers wanted.
And I placed that ad in the for rent sections of
Excellent.
REI Black Book and places, because if I'm trying to find people, why rent when you can own this mobile home? You know, it fits to get the attention of renters and people like that. I think that's it on the questions. I think I got everybody's questions.
All right, so just real quick, guys, you know, it's Greg at GregoryDowning.com. If you've got any questions at all, webinar feedback, you want a specific topic, you want to whatever you want, guys. You're having a down day and you want to get pumped up. Just send me a message at Greg at GregoryDowning.com. God bless everybody, and we'll see you this coming up Tuesday night.
Bye, everybody. We love you, and we're praying for you. Bye.